Welcome everybody. Thank you for watching. We are live at Zanado Studios here in Auburn, Washington. Sitting to the left of me, I should say, is my man Adrien Marcel. Listen, most of you guys already know who this man is, but for those who don't, I want to go a little bit more in depth into it and ask the question to the world. Who is Adrien Marcel?
Man, you know, I'm a kid from East Oakland, you know, representing the Bay Area, creating a new sound. Right now it's called R&Bay, and we taking it from the Bay to the world, man. You know, we out here in Seattle enjoying ourselves and just, you know, spreading the R&Bay gospel, man. We trying to take it everywhere like air, you know what I'm talking about?
Absolutely. First and foremost, congratulations, man, on the success. The R&Bay season. That is the season.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you, in the process of that, creating that sound, cultivating that sound, grabbing it from the soil of the Bay, right? Being a product of the Bay, right? So what was the thought process behind that, and what brought you to want to do something like that?
I mean, you know, as an artist, man, you know, we're always we should be always chasing elevation, you know, evolving and transcending into pushing the culture forward. You know what I mean? I think that everywhere around the world they have a way of representing their soil. You know, Chicago has their way of R&B. New York has their way of R&B. LA, Atlanta, New York, everywhere you go around the world, they have their way of R&B. And something that I sat with my partner Sonny B and talked about was, how does the Bay R&B? You know, especially for males, you know, how do we represent our soil in a way that can be universal and spread to, you know, the globe, you know, around the world. And, you know, everywhere we go, they love the Bay Area culture, the way we talk different, we love different, we move different, we speak different, our lingo, you know what I'm saying? Right. So really trying to push our own culture forward, you know, so R&Bay has been around for a long time. It just hasn't been really cultivated all the way through. You know what I mean? It hasn't really marinated enough. You know, we've had Jay Valentine's. You know, we've had Irk the Jerks. We've had, you know, RODs, and we've had different people that have had sporadic moments, bringing it to the forefront. But for us, it was deeper than that. It was us saying, okay, how do we lock away for a minute and really hone in on this sound? You know, how do we make it bigger than just one record? You know what I mean? It's really about saying that this is the way that we do R&B, and this is our seat at the table now, you know, with the Bay Area. It's a movement. You know what I mean? It had to be deeper than just Adrien Marcel. It was about creating a movement for the Bay Area. You know what I mean? And us owning what we do.
So was that hard for you to do, let's say, for example, coming from your original sound, you know, when you were signed to a major company, right? Because it is a difference, because you went back and you know, cultivated that sound, okay? So do you feel like doing it the way that you did it with R&B, because it's still smooth, it's still a vibe to it, there's a melody to it, but there's also hip-hop in it. And I can hear the hip-hop sound in the beats and the way that the beat knocks. So do you feel like the rappers in the Bay, do you feel like you get the love, you know, from that as well with it?
I mean, to be honest with you, man, I don't think we too much cared.
Okay.
You know, I don't think we thought that deep about it. I think it was about what felt good to us.
Right.
You know what I mean? You said it yourself. We are a product of the Bay Area, so it wasn't about needing a stamp. I mean, the stamp that we needed from, if there was any rapper, it was 40. You know?
Exactly.
And you talk about Bip City and, you know, 40 hearing it and getting on it and putting his stamp to it. And I mean, that's, to me, that was the level.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like someone like 40 who has created, you know, the lingo over and over again, has been the innovator of, you know, for the past, I don't even know how many years, man.
Decades.
You know what I mean? Decades and stuff. So, you know, somebody like him getting behind it and seeing it, I think that was deeper to us than anything else.
And that's exactly my point, and that's what I wanted. Yes, I felt that.
Again, it wasn't something that we thought about in the process of creating it. It was about how do we just put ourselves in these records, you know, because this is who we are every day. You know, this is the way we talk. This is the way this is who we are off and on camera. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it was about creating a sound that was player. You know what I
Word.
mean? It's like, you know, the Bay Area that I grew up in, man, that's what it was. It was like so many players I was around, man, and not in the sense of like pimping or nothing like that, you know, more in the sense of just the aura and the way we carry ourselves, you
The
know, how
lifestyle.
we handle our situations, our lifestyles, man. You know, whether you know, man, woman, or women in the Bay, they players.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
a fact. That's
so
a fact.
you know what I'm saying?
That's a
So
fact.
it's really it's truly the culture in itself. So with us
love
putting
it.
this sound together, man, there was nobody we thought about. It was just me and this man sitting in the studio. Like when me and Sonny B hooked up in 2021, man, it was like it's us, you know, controlling who was being in the studio, who was being brought in, the musicians of the Bay Area. You know what I mean? The us and cultivating something with them. You know what I mean? Because man, there's so much talent in the Bay. You know what I mean? That travels around the world. I mean, you hear about some of the best artists, and biggest artists. They got people who from the Bay adding that sound to what they're doing.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So
For sure.
for us, it's like, okay, people are constantly coming in, taking the sound, taking the sauce, taking the, you know, the knowledge of what we do.
Right.
And they going back and breaking it down.
They're
You know what I
taking
mean?
from it.
Taking from it.
That's right.
And then coming back and selling it back to us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
for us, it's like, nah, we gonna own it. Like in the past 10 years, we haven't had a male artist that's been able to truly own the R&B seat at the table globally.
Yeah.
You know, so it wasn't about what rappers thought.
Right.
It wasn't about what anybody thought.
Any
It was
singers
about
or
what we
whatever.
know.
That's
You know
right.
what I'm talking
Yes.
about? So us doing that,
Speak on
we
it,
told ourselves, look, we gonna push this, you know, and we gonna push it like a wheelchair. You know
That
what
you
I mean?
did. That
To
you
the
did.
to the wheels fall off. You know,
Yes, yes.
and we're here, we're spreading it around the world, whether it be Seattle, whether it be the Philippines, whether it be, you know, anywhere around this world,
Right.
man. We're taking our culture, our soil. You know what I mean? Like 40
Right.
said, man, we wherever we place our cup,
Right.
that's the soil. It's there.
And congratulations on that.
Appreciate that.
I would definitely say that. So let's talk about the new sound. Let's talk about the R&Bay season.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some of the songs on there. Obviously, you know, Bib City, that's a banger. But I really want to get into Wait. That's the one right there. And it just showcases you, CRSB, man, the way that you guys blend. I just think it was a phenomenal way to present to the world and to everybody who you guys are and how you do. You know what I mean? So let's go into that. Let's talk about how that all transpired, like how you met with Sonny B and Chris Ramos. Talk about that.
Yeah, I mean,
How did you guys meet?
Me and SB, we hooked up in 2021. It was just sort of destined the way it happened, man. I mean, it was one take, one moment that we had, that we met, and the energy just matched. I mean, we all speak energy fluently.
All right.
You know what I mean? So it just matched.
Okay.
And we started working on music, man. And from there, I think us sharing our experiences in the Bay, the way our perspectives were of what was needed and what we've seen, what we've been able to do in our different worlds, man. And one of the biggest conversations, even when bringing Chris in, you know, and blending CRSB and ADRIAN MARCEL, I think the biggest thing was like, you know, you look at the island side of things and what they were doing,
Right.
and the separation between commercial R&B and them, though what they were doing was completely R&B. You know what I'm saying? But
Definitely.
it's
I did
just
my
those
homework,
two
definitely.
worlds. But those two worlds never see each other.
Sure.
You know. So for us, it was, again, how do we constantly push the culture forward? It's not about doing anything that's been done. How do we sit back and say, okay, how do we build this bridge between the islands and the islands of the Bay?
Sure.
You know what I mean? How do we
Right,
bring
right,
that
right.
together? How do
I
we
like
bring
that. I like
R&B
that. Yeah.
and commercial R&B and island R&B together? You know, and in more ways, how do we bring that major label knowledge that I'm coming from with that independent grind that they come from? How do we blend these things together? So there was so many things that we were bridging, you know, that just have never been done. So now you get to a point where you're looking at us bringing them on BET and
Yeah.
MTV and things like that.
That's right.
These are things that have never been done.
Right.
You know what I mean? These are ways that have never been, they haven't been seen like this. I haven't been seen, you've never heard Adrian Marcel or a commercial R&B artist like myself on the island sound like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Though
Right.
they're so similar. There's a fine line of, I think it's a there's only just a rhythm that kind of separates it.
Right.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
But other than that, they're so similar and parallel.
Right.
So for us, it was like, again, how do we consistently push this culture forward in more ways than one? It's not about just coming together and just doing a bunch of records.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
It's bigger than
Anybody
that.
can get inside in the
bigger.
studio and do records, but how do we come together and create history, create something that can ultimately change the scope of how things have been done? You know, I mean, we see what's happening to this business right now, with labels and things. It's like, if you're not creating something that is going to be timeless, if you're not creating something that is going to push 10 years from now,
Right.
20 years from now, then you're really just holding space for the moment.
Yes.
So it was imperative that for us, it was like, it was deeper than us doing just a couple records. We learned how massive the energy of us together worked out. You know what I mean? So
Right.
you get this thing where it's like a 3-piece. It's like a 3-piece chicken dinner, man. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You get the wing, the thigh, and the breast. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? With your meal. So
You get a full meal.
You get the full meal,
You get
man.
the full
So it's dope that we're able to, for myself, it's dope that I get to jump inside of the island side and help, arrange and write on island
Right.
records that aren't even me. You know what I mean? That's for
Right.
them, and likewise for Chris and Sonny to do what they're doing
Right.
with the R&B side of things. Sonny producing all these records. You
Yeah,
know what I
shout out
mean?
to
Us
Sonny, 'cause he's
collaborating on the writing the
Yeah.
way we are, and again,
Right.
being in control of the people that we're bringing in. I mean, we're bringing in people from my side, from their side. I mean, it's like when you get married, man. When you
Right.
walk down the aisle, you're looking at two different sides of families
Right.
that come together
You're blending together
and
in
join
unity.
this unity, this community, man. And that's what we're doing. We're creating a community.
Well,
And
that's what
we're
you've
showing people that this is the way that you should create.
It's the blueprint.
It's the blueprint, man.
And that's what it is. You guys have created this independent blueprint that I think for artists to come are going to see this and that path, and they're going to take it because it takes ownership. You guys have full control of the narrative, right? So the way that I see it is you have created, along with the Brodies, CRSB, you guys have created a unity, a team, a staff, a management, a production. Everything that a major label machine can run, you guys have independently created for yourself to own the narrative, right? You're changing the course of how this industry is about to be shaped. And it's not just me seeing it. Every place that you go to, every platform, every media space that you go into, they all see it. All the way from Way Up with Angela Yee, all the way from Tank, and R&B Money, Jay Valentine, they all see it. We all see it, right? So I just want to congratulate you right here in this space to say keep doing what you're doing and keep running it, because you're changing. Every so often we get someone that changes the course of the industry, right? And you're doing that. So continue to do that because you're creating something. And I believe it and I stand behind it. I just want to thank you for doing that. I won't take up too much of your time, but I do want to bring out the Brodies. I want to bring out CRSB, man.
Yeah.
So for everyone that's watching, stay tuned and keep watching, because we're going to clip, and I will bring out CRSB because I want you guys to understand how this unity, how this brotherhood is formed and what's coming out of it. Because moving forward, this is what you need to know and understand on how to take control over your future, over your destiny, over your financial success in the music industry. So thank you, Adrien, man. I appreciate you. Thanks for watching. This is your guy, RJ. Stay tuned. We'll be back with CRSB. Once again, we are live here at Zanado Studios, and sitting to the right of me are my guys, CRSB. Welcome, welcome. What's going on, Brody?
Man, what's going on, RJ? How you feeling, dog?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. So listen, I just want to say congratulations, man. Congratulations on everything that you guys are doing. Congratulations on the success. But what I really want to ask right now, let's tell the people who is CRSB.
Oh man, easy. My name is Sonny B.
I'm Chris Ramos.
And together we are CRSB.
Now, how did this duo start? Like, where did you guys meet? How did you guys start your music career?
Yeah, we're cousins. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, our grandfathers are brothers.
Okay.
We also, if the universe had it, we were born 10 days apart.
Yeah.
So, it's not only are we cousins, best friends, my brother, you know what I'm saying? Blood couldn't make it, you know what I mean, any thicker.
Absolutely.
So
Okay.
it just kind of was destiny, We grew up with the same family, they forced us to sing in front of family.
All right.
We had to see each other every time, and every time we opened our mouth to sing, we could harmonize, and it was just one of those things that was just like, do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's hear you do that again. Can you do this?
Yeah.
And it was just like kind of just started there.
So music was always in your family. There's like, did your parents sing? Your grandparents sing?
Everybody was, all our aunties, all our uncles, everybody dang near had a band.
For sure.
And everybody sang. So for us, it was easy to go into singing and doing music because we saw all our family do it.
For sure.
So when we did it, it was like, why not try?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they encouraged it a lot because when we get together as family, it was just everybody sang. Everybody was just, even if you didn't sing that good, everybody was singing. It was like this.
Normal.
Yeah, we call it kama'aina, and in our culture, bringing the family. Everyone gets to share the mic. So it's like it's come here nephew, come here niece. We go up there, we sing our little favorite songs, and then they're like, oh, you can really sing. So it gave us confidence to be able to do what we do today, which is really cool.
So when was that first break? Like, let's say all of the countless times, hours of putting in that work, doing the music and stuff. When did it hit? When was the first time that you say, wow, we're actually doing this? When did it hit?
Man, our first number one in Hawaii was crazy. We were, we had wrote the song in a small studio in Vallejo. If you don't know what Vallejo is, it's one of the most dangerous cities in the West Coast.
Come on.
You feel me?
Shout out to 40.
Yeah, for real. Back Dre,
Yeah.
all them from there. But we had our studio in Vallejo, and we made this song, and we were just like, bro, I think this has something. It was we had put an 808 on top of an ukulele. And exactly, we wanted, because it was like, if we gonna make music, we want this shit to slap.
Right.
You feel me? And it's that's what we call it. We call it because food don't slap, it smack. You feel me?
Yeah.
Music slaps. So wherever we go, we make sure that's the that's the message.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't go around saying food slap.
Right.
You feel me? We're gonna stop that whole conversation right there. But putting the 808 on ukulele, we were the first ones to really dabble in trying to make a ukulele slap. I mean, because the ukulele is it's only 4 strings. It's very high tuned.
That's right.
It's like the bass does what the bass does, but the 808 does something special. It wakes something up inside of you, especially if you're from the Bay Area. It triggers something when you hear 808. When you feel that trunk shaking, you know what I mean? It's something inside that make you go, and just kind of make a face, and that's kind of like what we wanted. We from where we from, and we didn't want to sound like we were from Hawaii. That wasn't the goal. It was like, I'm not, just because I look like I'm from there and because we were born with the culture, I'm not gonna go to your hometown and try and make your music. Why would I do that? I'm gonna do what we do. We're gonna do what we do. We were playing the ukulele and singing Mac Dre. We were playing ukulele and singing Usher and Chris Brown to these girls. You know what I mean? It wasn't. We were singing capenna. We were singing capenna at home, trying to learn how to play the ukulele. But then when we took it to school, they didn't know who that was. So we had to sing Usher, Michael J. Exactly, and it worked. Because you see us big dudes carrying around this little tiny guitar. You feel me, singing sweet to the ladies, it gets a little confusing.
Right, I see that. What the eyes perceive is not what they hearing. It's like, okay, you threw them off a little bit, right? You know what? In all actuality, that worked in your favor.
Absolutely.
Because it created a separation.
Security too, so it's
Right. Like, don't get it twisted. Yeah, don't get it twisted. We can do that, but we just choose to do this.
Absolutely, we choose love every time. But if it's activation time, it's activation. It's up. You feel me?
You still be activated with love.
Exactly.
So what I'm hearing a lot from you is there's a production side.
Absolutely, man.
Because a lot of stuff that you've been saying thus far has been about sound and beats and 808s and drums. So let's talk about that. Because production, has that always been the love for you besides the music and singing?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I always wanted to just be able to in control of my narrative and be in control of. There was every time I linked up with somebody, collaborating is my favorite thing to do.
Right.
You know, but being able to go home after the collaboration and still make music was always my goal, and I always had a different ear for it. So my cuz here, he helped cultivate that. He was like always with it and always just like, yeah, you want to put that little different thing in there? Let's do it. Let's run it. You know what I'm saying? I've never heard it like that. So come on. It was never like, I don't know if they're going to like it. It was willing to take the risks with me. You know, 808 on an ukulele was a risk. We didn't, we had never heard it. We were just like, I hope that they rock with it. And
It's creative.
Bruh,
That's what it was. As long as we liked it, and as long as we was rocking with it, then if anybody else liked it, that's just a bonus.
Right.
kind of like what Adrien was saying. You know, it wasn't even us trying to fit the mold or the narrative of what people looked at us and thought that we should sound like. It was like, we're just gonna make music that we like, and if we like it, we know that we're confident in our taste.
Right.
When we play our playlist, everybody moves, everybody turns up. So if we make anything like that, I mean, but it's gonna be activating the same kind of, triggers in other people. So it's beautiful to be able to create a community around a sound, and also see the future for it, not just for right now.
There we go.
Being able to be like, oh, this feels timeless. This is timeless, and that's really what we're chasing, is timeless music. Because when we make these records, we're actually putting our lives in this. We're talking about the stories. We're not recycling melodies. You know what I mean? We're pushing each other, challenging each other to be the best. Because it's like we throw away some bars, bro.
Oh, I'm sure.
Man, I looked at my phone. I'm just like, damn, we gotta figure this out, because this is a bar. But those bars come from songs those bars did not make it to those records, but we keep them, and it's just so crazy to think that like it just every time we go in there, it just keeps happening. That's kind of what happened with Adrien.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm hearing is this: timing.
Yeah.
It's like timing is what brought you two together.
Man.
You guys were ready at the right time to unite to build what you're building. That's why it seems natural, right?
Absolutely.
So this is what I'm going to say, and this is where I'd like to bring in Adrien, because I want to get you guys. Let's talk about the Brodies, because now that we've got a chance to understand more about CRSB and their journey and what built them up to be who they are individually as a duo, and then you think about what we have here to the left of me, Mr. Adrian Marcel, and what you guys all know, Mr. 2 a.m. and his journey to success and the ups and downs of the industry and his knowledge of what he has gained and acquired over the years. When you bring all that together in time, it creates something about what we have now, which is the r&Bay season, which is the Brodies, right? And with everything that they have created, they have started something new, and they have pushed and created a movement. And it's not about a comeback. What this is a movement. They're progressing forward to show you the blueprint and what you can do. And you don't need a label or a major to do these things. What you need is experience, and you need dedication and commitment to put in the work and the determination to make this a success. Now, Adrien, let me talk to you for a second, my brother. Listen, I want to say, when you got with the Brodies, right, and you started this and you created everything, did you immediately know, like, okay, this is something that I wanted to do, I've always wanted to do, and now that I brought my brothers along to do this, is this what you always thought in your mind that you wanted to do?
Yeah, no, it's funny, man. They talk about premonitions, and it's like dreams. Dreams sometimes can show you things that you haven't necessarily went through yet, or things that you feel in the subconscious. Right. When I was on the labels, man, I'm moving through these experiences alone. Right. There was a team, yes, but I'm moving through this and navigating through these things solo. You know what I mean? I'm going into these situations solo. When we talk about all the shows that, different things that you seeing me there solo. That's what I mean? And for me, I've always been the same way Sonny said. I've always been a collaborative person.
For sure.
I love to collaborate. I love to bring people together. I love to share.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's for me. It's like I understand that I hold whatever position I hold, but within that, there are other positions that allow my position to shine, that
That's right.
allow me to do what I do.
Right.
And I've always been about brotherhood. You know. So when I went independent, when I stepped away from everything that was in front of me and did a reset, I feel like it was God. It was the universe. It was all of these things that were coming together to say, now it's time. You needed to go through these things.
Right.
You needed to see what
Right.
you saw. You know what I mean? Feel what you felt.
Right.
And I could have used those moments and been bitter. I
Right.
could have let it, slow me down. I could have let it stop me. But for me, it was about understanding that when you are chosen for something, man, you got to take the good and the bad.
That's right.
You know, you need the negatives to create the positives too. You know what I'm saying? So coming together and meeting them, it was all in timing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Son walked through the door at the right time. When I was
That's
in a
right.
place of saying, okay, I want to fall back in love with music. I want to not only fall back in love with music, but I want to fall back in love with the creative process.
There you go.
You know, and with that, I was open enough to take a different direction.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And in a way where, again, I'm coming from major labels. They're coming from an independent situation. You know what I mean? And with that, being able to say, okay, let me try this creative process a different way.
Right.
I wasn't used to creating collaboratively the way that
Right.
we do now.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So when we got in the studio, man, our first time in the studio, we created 4 records the first night.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was 4 records, 2 of them that you hear on R&Bay season right now. You know, and I'm saying to myself, I'm like, yo, I told him this. I'm like, bro, I ain't never heard myself like this.
Yeah.
You know, we were pushing bounds for myself where Son is like, nah, I love what you've done with 7 days a week. I love what you did with Week After Next. I love all
Shout
of
out
these
to
records that you've done, right?
Right.
But with those records, I'm talking to you for 4 hours right now, and I don't hear this person that I'm talking to right now
Yeah.
on those records.
Shout out to
You know what I'm saying? And he's like, I want to hear not only just a creative myself, as a fan, as a supporter, I want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? So with it, that's what we're pushing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
We're pushing me we were pushing me at that time to elevate. So I knew it. I went home those nights and I'm sitting back in my bed and I'm looking at the ceiling and I'm like, yo, something is happening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then bringing
felt it. You
bringing
saw it.
Chris in and not only that, but once we formed our situation, then you start bringing in other entities. You start bringing in our shooters. You start
There you
bringing
go.
in our management teams and our people who are helping us create and organize and all these things. And as you start to do it, you're like, yo, this is a community. This is, you know what I mean? The Brodies is something so much
it.
bigger than
That's
just us 3.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? It's
Thank you for
a
saying
way
that.
of life. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's the way that you treat the people around you.
Yeah.
It's the way you uphold each other. You talking about 3 kings in one room and taking out the egos and not saying that, well, I'm the king of the East, so, I should be the
Right.
one who, or, I run it. No, it's everybody sitting here like, yo, from one king to the next, you've done what you needed to do to be here and to sit at your throne.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? So we all have the weight to be able to direct each other.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
agree.
And to trust each other's words. And that was something that I didn't see when I was on the labels. I always saw people battling for the seat, battling for who sat higher.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
See?
who was in a higher position. Like when I speak, everybody should shut up. But when you speak, I don't gotta listen to that. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
it was such a different thing to come into that. And maybe that was, me learning a different culture, them opening me up to my Filipino side, to, the other culture that I represented, that I kept to the side, you know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
But to be able to be in that family vibe, that it's all love in the room.
That's
You know what I
it.
mean? It's all trust in the room. And that's what the Brodies is about, man. When we say the Brodies, it's not something that we just came up with and put a title to, man. No, it started out as this is what it is.
I feel that.
Brodies.
No, I feel that. I feel that.
Brothers, you know what I'm saying?
Listen, I definitely feel that. And thank you for sharing that, because I wanted to allow you to get all that out, because I just wanted to say that is 100% true, because it's more than just you three. It's a whole team of people behind them. And I want to shout out everybody that represents on the back end for you guys, you know, because it takes you all to be able to do what you do, you know, because there's a lot of pressure on your shoulders, and it's good to be able that you can trust someone to hold down those different positions, you know, and you definitely have that. You guys have created something, not just a group, but you guys have created a team, a staff, a management of strong, intelligent individuals that can facilitate and execute everything that you guys are doing. And I just want to say congratulations on that. I also want to say to everyone, make sure you guys go out and support the R&Bay season. It's out right now. They are going crazy. Man, listen, I am beyond humbled and happy. It's good to reconnect with you. It's been a minute. I wanted to catch up with you, man, and give the viewers a chance to see what you've been up to, because people think when you're out of sight, you're out of mind, but you've been plotting, you've been cooking. And now it's time to eat. So hopefully I'll be able to manage a seat at the table. So listen, man, thank you guys for watching, man. This is CRSB right here, my man, Adrian Marcel. I want to thank all you guys for watching. We are in Auburn, Washington at Zanotto Studios, man, for the Top Model Showcase. Shout out to all of the models. Shout out to all of the designers. Shout out to all of the artists who performed, you know, before this. Shout out to DC Productions. Shout out to everyone that had my man Squeed, DJ Funk Daddy, everybody, because it takes a whole unity of people to make things a success. So listen, man, thank you for watching. I am your man, RJ, the host, CRSB, Adrian Marcel. Thanks for watching. We out, guys. Peace.